Uh-oh, another win. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now 2-1 on the season, beating the Denver Broncos with a score of 28-10. The game was not close at all, and let me tell you, baby, them pewter color rush jerseys, we can't lose in those. Those things were a thing of beauty on the field. I kind of didn't like the color contrast between our color rush and they're wearing orange. I like the one team wears white, one team wears a color. But you know what? It was fine. We won. We're undefeated in those jerseys. Maybe them jerseys are going to be our good luck uniforms moving forward, but who knows? Anyways, a lot to talk about in this game. But before I get into that, my name is Ramy B. Thank you for tuning in to my weekly Buccaneer reactions. Make sure you click the subscribe button down below. And stay tuned because I do these videos weekly, even on the bye week. So make sure you're tuned into that. But if you see me looking over to the side, I got stats up on my laptop so I can speak accurately. But wonderful win, wonderful team performance all around. Offense, defense, special teams. I would say that this is probably our most complete football game this entire season thus far. I know it's only 3 games, but this is definitely the trajectory we want it to be on. Compared to week 1, we're improving. The offense is now stepping up a little bit. Special teams is starting to kind of get together. So it's good to see that. Brady was 25 of 38 for 297 yards and 3 touchdowns. All 3 touchdowns were in the first half, and I read like that was the first time he's had 3 touchdowns in the first half in like a year and a half, maybe 2019 at some point, or maybe it was 2018, I don't remember. But great performance on his end. You could tell that he is starting to feel more comfortable in our offense and with our weapons. He's able to move the ball much better. He doesn't look like he's thinking as much as he has been in the past. He spread the ball around to so many players. Gronk got in on the action. OJ, our 3 top receivers, running backs. It seemed like he was spreading the ball to everybody. He was just very comfortable in the pocket. He didn't really get sacked. I know he didn't get sacked at all last week. He didn't get sacked this game till the 4th quarter. But overall, still like a really good performance from him. Much better than we've seen him in the last few weeks. There weren't any balls that should have been picked off. A lot of them were pretty accurate from what I can remember. I could be wrong, but I didn't see any like interceptable balls thrown on his end. Now the running game, Ronald Jones 13 carries for 53 yards and Fournette 7 for 15. I don't understand the way they break down the runs. I know Bruce has been saying that they want Fournette fresh for the 4th quarter, and we didn't see Fournette in the 4th quarter breaking, you know, that last drive before we started kneeling. I didn't see Fournette in there. 7 carries for 15 yards isn't a good amount. Rojo played okay. Again, we need to get the running game on point. Brady threw 38 passes. We can't have him throwing 30 plus times, especially in a game when we're up like this. We can't have him throwing that many times throughout the whole season. It's going to wear him down a little bit, but hopefully they figure that out. We have Bruce Arians, supposed to be an offensive genius, so we'll see. I read somewhere that Brady threw his 100th touchdown over the age of 40, which is he's the first player to do so, which is cool. To see that him at the age of 43 is playing the way he is. He's taking shots down the field. As you saw, there was the big one to Scotty Miller, and there was another one that he overthrew a little bit, but he's more comfortable taking more shots down the field. Compare him to Drew Brees, who's 40, and his arm is like completely done and shot. You could tell that there's a big difference there. Now going to the receivers, Scotty Miller had 3 catches for 83 yards. He was our most productive wide receiver. Godwin had 5 for 64 and a touchdown in the 1st quarter after that blocked punt, which I will get into. OJ was 3 for 49. Gronk 6 for 48. Not bad for a blocking tight end. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people were talking about Gronk coming in and just being a blocker, not being used. Well, here you go, 6 for 48. He seemed like he's starting to get his feet under him, and he's much more comfortable getting hit and all that kind of stuff, so that's good. And then Evans, 2 catches, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns. I know a lot of people are going to get down on the yards because we want him to hit 1,000 so he can break that Randy Moss record, but 2 touchdowns is great. He has 4 touchdowns in 3 games. He's connected on every game for a touchdown, so I guess if you win the game, he probably won't be as mad with the yards, especially when our team was that dominant today. I don't see him struggling. I mean, he had week 1 catch for 2 yards. This is 2 for 2. I don't see him struggling throughout the season not getting yards. It's going to come. So I'm not too worried about him. Overall, like I said, the offense played well. This is the best offensive game we've had all season. I know the second half we didn't really score as much, but we were moving the ball and taking time off the clock compared to last week against Carolina where we weren't moving the ball. It was a lot of 3 and outs. So definitely kudos to the offense on that. Now, going to special teams. Mickens, I think his name, our punt returner. He seems much more comfortable. He's starting to return some punts now. He's not breaking really big gains yet, but you can tell he's much more comfortable gaining some yards here and there. So that's very good to look at and good to see. Special teams in the 1st quarter blocked a punt, which was great, put us in good field position. We were able to score, and we had our own extra point blocked, but at that point it was we were up anyways. And I mean, it sucks, but it seems like a lot of teams throughout the league are missing extra points and field goals anyway, so it's not an isolated incident where it's only affecting us. Suckup has been pretty solid outside of that blocked field goal against New Orleans. he's been pretty solid. I don't remember him missing any other kicks or extra points that I can remember. Maybe he did miss one against New Orleans. I don't remember exactly. But special teams played much better than it has been all season. It's been a liability for us the last 3-4 years, so it's good to see that for once they're playing pretty solid. They don't have to be the best, but they just have to not make mistakes. Now on the defense. Again, the defense has dominated as they have been all season. Even the Saints game, even though we lost, the defense was still probably the best. Our defense was outplaying their defense, I would say, and outplaying every other facet of our team. Lavonte David and Mike Edwards each had one pick. Lavonte got his off of the ball that Driscoll kind of just threw up because he was pressured. I mean, he had no choice but to throw it up. So, or maybe it was tipped, but either way, Lavonte got that pick, and then Mike Edwards got one when Denver was driving to get in for their second score. We had overall 7 tackles for loss, which is incredible. We had 6 sacks as a team, 2 by Shaq Barrett. Finally, he got his sacks, and one of them was a safety in the third quarter. Jordan Whitehead had one, Antoine Winfield had one, Jason Pierre-Paul had a strip sack, and Vita Vea had that amazing one where he pulled the lineman with him and just one arm grabbed the Driscoll and just kind of threw him down. Our D-line and our linebacker, we have easily the best linebacking core in the NFL. Between Shaq, JPP, Devin White, and Lavonte David, they were making plays all around the field. They were moving to the ball. Antoine Winfield, I will say, is probably more than likely going to be Defensive Player of the Year if he keeps up at this pace. Defensive Rookie of the Year, and potential Defensive Player of the Year in the future. He reminds me so much of Rondé Barber in his ability and willingness to blitz and tackle. He's a smaller guy, but I'm not saying he's compared to Rondé because he's small, but it's just his skill set and his ability to get in there and get hit, and he's not afraid. He's all over the field. There was a couple other times where he almost tipped the quarterback's throw and almost sacked the quarterback as well. So this kid has been a baller all around the field. Probably our most surprising player so far. Jeff Driscoll, for the game, he had 17 for 30, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Outside of that drive to end the first half where he moved down the ball 7 for 7 for like 80 yards or whatever, take that out, he has under 100 yards and 10 completions. So, I mean, we were pressuring him every play. It seemed like damn near every play Bowles was calling blitzes, and they were connecting, they were hitting, he was rushed, he had no time. There was so many passes he kind of just threw up in prayer. Then Brett Ripon came in, 8 for 9, 53 yards, and 1 interception. Again, he had like 6 straight completions until that pick. I attribute his success to whenever you switch quarterbacks out, we weren't studying Ripon's film. I don't even know if they had film on Ripon, so he's coming in doing something different. But either way, we got the pick when we needed it. We held Melvin Gordon to 26 yards rushing. Driscoll had 14 yards rushing. Their receivers, only Jared Jeudy had 55 yards. Everyone else had below 50. So overall, a great defensive performance. We're choking them out. We're dominating. Teams are not able to move the ball on us that well. Carlton Davis is covering pretty well. It seems like the team all around on defense is going to be our strong suit. And it's crazy to see that. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, Jameis can put up a lot of points and move the ball, which was true, but he was also a liability in terms of turnovers, giving the defense shorter fields. But with Brady there and minimizing the turnovers, you see the defense is playing well. They're not having short fields. We're able to pin the other team down deep and keep them there. Our defense is very fast. I haven't seen them this fast in literally a decade. Maybe since Greg Schiano's first year where we led the league in rush defense, and that was because we were like all-out blitzing all the time too. But I haven't seen the team, fly to the ball carrier like that. I haven't seen the team be as aggressive and successful. You could tell they're playing with a lot of confidence and swagger, and they're playing like they are the best defense in the league. That's the way they're carrying themselves. Even like the NFL.com before the season started had our secondary ranked as 32nd in the NFL. I think that they noticed that, and our secondary's playing like they got a chip on their shoulder. So it's only going to bode well. Next week we play the Chargers. From what I saw, I don't know how bad it is. Herbert got hurt, so then they have to put in, I guess now it's their 3rd string quarterback. So maybe another lucky break for us. They come to Tampa with a 3rd string playing. I don't know if Herbert's injury is that severe. I didn't look into it. And we all know Tyrod Taylor had the unfortunate incident where their doctor punctured his lung. So obviously he won't be playing. Winnable game at home, especially if our defense plays the way it is and our offense continues to take that leap forward. I would like to see the running game a little bit more involved and some more creative runs. I'm tired of seeing Fournette go around the edges. He's a downhill runner, north to south, just running through the tackles, and let him get his yards. But we keep doing these little cute outside runs and everything, and he's not that kind of running back. So I'd like to see that change. But again, I still think the offense is figuring Brady out, and he's figuring them out, and they're trying to piece things together. I'd also like to see Mike Evans involved more. Even though he had the 2 touchdowns, he was only targeted 4 times. 2 of them were those 2 touchdowns. So out of the other ones was that drop slant. That was a bad drop on him, but I don't remember what the other one was. But I'd like to see him at least get 7-8 targets a game. Godwin has the hamstring injury. I don't know what's going to happen with that. It seems like this team and hamstrings, it's a curse. Last year we lost Evans, Godwin, and Scotty to hamstrings, and now this year. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully it's nothing severe and he can come back next Sunday. Looking at the division though, the Bucs are now sitting atop the division at 2-1. The Saints play the Packers. Probably by the time you see this video, they'll be playing the Packers. I fully anticipate them losing, and I believe they're playing in Green Bay too, if I remember correctly. But I see them losing that game. If they do, they'll be 1-2. We'll be the only one with a winning record in the division. We'll be a full game ahead of the Saints. Panthers are 1-2, same thing, and the Falcons are 0-3 after blowing another 15-plus point lead in the fourth quarter. They're like the only team in history to blow 2 of them in the same season, I think, but they did it back-to-back, which is crazy. Dan Quinn's getting fired, and if he does, I really hope Dirk Cutter takes over as interim head coach so they can see what it was like when we had Dirk. But like I said, overall, solid performance. I'll give them a B-. The trajectory's going up. They started lower against the Saints. Moving up. Next week's the Chargers. Very winnable game. Then I think after that we play the Packers, if I am thinking of the schedule correctly. But yeah, Bucs Nation, that is my review, my recap for today's game. Let me know in the comments what you grade this team. I said I give them a B-. What would you like to see improved? I said the run game needs to be improved and spreading out giving the ball more to Mike Evans, at least targeting him a little bit more. But luckily this game we didn't need to because we were so dominant and in control for the whole game. But yeah, it's looking good. Brady's starting to look better. 43 years old. He's not washed like everyone said he was. He's still got it. He can still throw. So that's excellent on that part. But yeah, Buc Nation, thank you for tuning in. And as always, let's go Bucs. Let's stack up these W's. Next week, let's get it to 3-1. Let's get it to 4-1 against the Packers. I think we can do it. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. As always, go Bucs. I am out.
Our offense tough, our defense rough. Go Bucs. Go Bucs. Ain't no other team stopping us. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.